Good morning, and thanks for joining us here on Fox16.com, KARK.com, as well as our Facebook pages. I'm Ashley King, joined now by Robert Holt. How are you doing today, Robert?
I am wonderful. Good morning to you, and good morning, Arkansas and around the country. We appreciate you joining us today. What an awesome day it is today. You know,
Hey, we're
rain.
alive.
Yeah, a little rain. But what a great. Yeah, you're right. We're alive.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? I've been walking. I hope you've been proud of me, but I've been walking 3 miles a day with a 40-pound backpack.
You know, I saw you post something about that.
Yeah.
Are you training for something, or are you just doing that?
Well,
or?
I mean, I'm getting ready to do some. We're getting ready to take some kids out this weekend from the Boys and Girls Clubs with the Arkansas Nature Conservancy, because we partner with them, and we're taking them out to Box the Arkansas to do some nature hikes and see the elk and that kind of stuff.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I got to keep up with you young people.
Well, I don't know. You got to keep up with them. Those are the young people. All right, so today we are continuing our series. We've been talking about hate, and we touched a little bit last time on racism, and so we kind of wanted to expand on that some more today.
Right, yeah. Why do colors divide? And that comes in all sorts of things. Today we'll talk about skin color. We'll talk about even the gang issue. We probably were going to bring in the Republican Democrat kind of thing too. So, why do colors divide us?
Yeah, good question there. All right, so I want you to introduce our guest.
Okay, my great brother, friend, mentor, pastor, bishop, doctor, Stephen, Christian. I don't know how many titles he's got. He's got many of them. But the best title I think he has is friend. And so I'm grateful that Stephen decided to join us again today. And, he and I have been through a whole lot over the past 20 some odd years together. And as you can see, we're a little different in color. I'm better looking than he is. And so
there you guys go again.
Yes. He's beautiful.
So anyway, so that's this is a great opportunity to really talk about what's happening. So Ashley.
Yeah. So well, first of all, let me kind of start with letting people know how you two know each other.
Well, Stephen, go.
We met each other at church.
Okay.
Robert used to attend Second Baptist Church downtown, and the church that I pastor, Bountiful Blessings, was a mission or plant church of Second Baptist. We started Bountiful Blessings Fellowship, and it was Second Baptist Church that helped us get our church started.
Okay.
And when we had no money, they helped partner with us and supplied us with whatever we needed, along with the Pulaski Baptist Association. And Robert attended that church, and then I sang and spoke a little bit at that church, and he and I connected, and it was a love connection. And in the best sense, it was a love connection. And we've been together working, trying to make a difference in our community.
Make the world a better place.
Because we believe love is the greatest force, the most powerful force in the world.
Yeah.
And that's been Robert and me and Robert's mantra.
Yeah.
For many years, and we kind of went our separate ways a little bit. God brought us back together.
Here y'all
said it's time for you all to get back together and get back in the community and work together to make a difference.
Yeah. So I always talked to Robert a lot, like back last year when a lot of the George Floyd stuff was going on, and he mentioned that you guys have a lot of conversations when it comes to race, and you clearly, looking at you two, you're from two different backgrounds. So I guess, can you guys kind of talk about, like, first of all, why is this topic such a hard topic to talk about?
You know, I'll start, Stephen.
Okay.
You know, for Steve and I, being both of us being pastors, and you know, we're not overtly religious. We just live out our belief of Jesus Christ, and so, you know, he and I have talked about this as far as spiritual warfare, and we might get into that just a little bit. But I think one of the things for Steve and I is that we've been able to communicate, and I think that's one of the biggest issues, besides a lack of love, is communication, understanding one another. I mean, he and I, even to this day, we're still learning about one another, but it's one of those things where we can actually talk about the hard stuff. We can talk about those things of, why is there a Black Miss America pageant? You know, why do we have organizations that serve only Black children or Hispanic children? And, you know, and we can communicate about those issues, whereas there's so many people in this world, or just take this state, that will not talk about it, but they'll talk about it around their table.
Well, let me ask you that real quick, Robert. How did you get to the point to where you felt comfortable enough to be able to have this conversation with Stephen?
We have a relationship. First, we have a relationship with God. Second, we have a relationship knowing that he and I love one another unconditionally. There is no, I mean, no matter what he believes, you know, he might have voted different than I did, but still, I love him. And he loves me. And it's a brotherly love. But we have a relationship that has allowed that. I'm sorry, Stephen, go ahead.
Yeah, first thing is, you have to be committed to, you have a commitment to God. If you truly are a Christian and you believe in God, you have to have a commitment to Jesus Christ and his teachings. Well, he said the greatest commandment is to love God with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength. And then the second greatest commandment is to love your neighbor as yourself. So we're committed to love. That makes us committed to each other, regardless of our disagreements, regardless of our different emotions and feelings. We're committed to love. I'm committed that Robert Holt is my brother and will always be my brother. And that love for him, God, and humanity overrules all of the other differences. And we don't have to say the same thing and feel the same way in order to be committed to loving each other. What do we mean when we say love? I want Robert to have the free right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. I want that for him. He wants that for me. And if we can help each other in any kind of way, we're going to do it. And so that reaches out to our community.
You know, Ashlei, I'm not pro-Black. I'm not pro-white. I'm not pro-Hispanic. As my brother said earlier this morning when he were talking, we're pro-human. We're pro-people. Has my color in the past held down as far as races on various levels? Yes. But I can also tell you, because of my experiences on the streets, I have seen where the opposite is taking place. It's just not recognizable. It's just not, it's not publicized. It's not out there. But I'm not out there pushing that type of issue. But if we don't communicate our feelings about these various things as far as race is concerned, colors are concerned, we're going to continue on down this evil road of hate and building up of bitterness inside of us.
Yeah. Yeah, I know I was with some friends, it was probably about a year ago when all the George Floyd stuff was happening, and they finally felt comfortable enough to ask me some questions that they felt like they could never ask a Black person before. So I don't know, Stephen, have you experienced that as well?
Absolutely. I don't like I don't like the social construct. I believe that identifying people as black, white, red, blue, Baptist, Pentecostal, I believe these labels are, how do you say it? They're stereotypical.
Yeah.
And people believe they know me
Based off that.
based off of the label they've given me. I am more than my color. And so I had a problem with that from the very beginning. That we decide how we're going to treat people based on their color, their gender, their faith, all of that. No, love is to be bigger than that. And so we have some major problems in our community. And as Robert said, we got to talk about it. And I'm open to anybody ask.
Uh-oh, did we lose his audio?
Yeah. Hey, you muted. Hey, Steve, you're muted.
Oh, yeah.
I'm okay with people asking me about all of that. And I'm not afraid to talk about the tough issues. I wish one of you all would throw a tough question at me. But let me just say this. Robert and I are in agreement that the problem is spiritual warfare. So we believe that there are, yes, there's a real devil, and there are real angels, there's a real God, and there are real evils in the world. And it's that age-old fight, really good against evil. Good against evil. Evil has a way of shining a light on our differences and separating us because of our differences. Evil has a way of separating us and pointing out our differences and then telling us we ought to be separate. It's really not just a black-white issue. It's a difference, however we're differently. There's not just race wars and race tension. There are cultural tensions. There's tensions between the African Americans of the people of the same color, but not of the same gang.
Could be lighter skin and darker skin and all that kind of thing. I've seen it.
All of that stuff separates us, and we have to rise above that. So, one of my favorite scriptures is, "Be not overcome with evil, but overcome evil with good." So that's what Robert and I are trying to be. We're trying to be conduits of love and goodness and pour goodness into the community. It's a fight, and we need more soldiers, more volunteers, more people to get on board with us and say, we're going to do good to everybody.
Well, hey, Ashlei, if you think about it, let's just, Steve put out, let's ask a hard question. Well, if I ask a hard question, we've only got about 10 minutes, and he's not gonna be able to answer that in 10 minutes. But I want to throw this. Look at what's going on right now with our Democrats and our Republicans right now. One's red, one's blue, one's got a donkey, one's got an elephant. I'm going to vote Democrat no matter what. I'm going to vote Republican no matter what. Instead of asking the question, how can love overcome all of these things, and we come to a place of where we might not agree with it, but we can come to some kind of bridge, and love has got to be that bridge. Gangs, Bloods, Crips. Bloods red, Crips are blue. I mean, I can just keep going on and on. But how do we expect those kids, because especially right now in the Little Rock area, a lot of this stuff has to do with drugs and gangs. And it's all separated by red and blue. How do I expect them to change when we in the government and adults cannot change? And they see people like our age groups that are black and white that are fighting amongst each other. And they're saying, hey, they're doing it. Why can't we do it? So, you know, that when Steve said, ask a hard question, one hard question, Steve, would be this. Why is there a program that only allows African Americans to join it?
And I would say that is, again, my language is based on the Bible. The Bible informs everything that I say. And so Jesus came to break down walls of division. So I do not believe that it's the more perfect way. It's a way to have a Miss America pageant, which was predominantly Caucasian, and then a Miss Black America and Miss Hispanic and all of that. I think we ought to stick to the Miss America, and it be open and fair to everyone. There should not be an organization that says we only serve European white people. There should not be an organization that says we only serve African Americans, Black people, or Hispanic. I think that's the problem. You have a giving program, a food program. We have a food pantry. We're a church, and we give out our spirituality. We give out the word and the love that God has given us. We get some of the food from you, your organization, and we provide it to people of every color. I have people come by my church. They're homeless. They're on the streets. I give money to every person, every color. So the answer to all of the negativity is our love presence, our good presence. Robert, you feed hundreds of people a month of all colors. So what we have to do, thank you so much, Ashlei King, that you're helping us to magnify, this is what we're beginning to do, the good, and make the good known as much as the evil. The media has a reputation of always putting out what's negative. We've got to put out what is good more than we put out what is negative. So Robert feeds people of all color. I feed people of all color. I love people of all color. There is nobody, there is nothing about an individual. I don't care what it is. They may be different from me, but there is nothing that will keep me from loving him. What do I mean love? Doing good to that person and helping them. So Robert, to your question, there should not be any programs that say we only serve this particular color group. All of the, including our government should say all of the money that's in the government coffers belongs to all of the people. And we should make sure that everybody, no matter who they are, where they come from, that they have everything they need, all of the money and the opportunities to pursue life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
So Ashlei, the other side of this is this. In the quote, African American community, there has been this, and it's rightly so, that, well, a lot of these places, the clubs, organizations and so forth, have mainly served the white
They don't accept, that's a lot of it,
That's right. But
so that's why they felt they needed
to make their own,
start a black one.
Because I will say, like, I had this, someone asked me this question. I went to the college I went to, the University of Texas. We had a, the regular graduation that everybody has, and we also had a black graduation. And people were like, why do you have a black graduation? But it was the same situation where, like, you couldn't go to the big graduation before, so we created our own graduation, and then it became a tradition, and it just kind of kept going.
Yeah.
So
And you
like,
see, and a lot of this has become tradition. You know, a lot of the Black Caucus, you know, they're in Washington. I mean, we got the Black FOP that's here in Little Rock. I mean, we've got all sorts of things like that. But the Black FOP was feeling, and I know they were feeling like, hey, we don't have a say-so in the regular FOP. So they have to feel like they've got to do something in order to have a say-so. And I understand that. But what I want is for them to come together like Stephen and I have come together to talk about it, not be hard-headed, really talk about it from a loving perspective. And that's where we've got to get to. That's why, Ashlei, you allowing us to do this is critical, because we're opening up something for somebody that's out there listening, and they're going to go, well, maybe I need to go find somebody I can talk to. Maybe this African-American could go talk to this, as Stephen said, European-American. Well, I'm saying that black guy can go talk to that white guy. You know, that shouldn't offend anybody. I mean, it just, you know, I shouldn't be afraid to call me a white
Robert,
guy.
We've got to get to the, here's the problem. If we would say the Miss America pageant is open to people of all colors, and we make sure it's fair, and every person, regardless of their color, has the same opportunities, the same monies available, if everything is fair, there should be no need for a Black America.
well, that's the thing, though. If everything's fair,
a Miss Black America. So that's the thing. We've got to start and make Miss America and the Miss Universe pageant open and fair to all. We've got to make every organization open and fair to all. Open the books, open the money books, and let us see and make sure that everybody has the same opportunity. Until that happens, you're going to always have people pulling for their little particular group. And I told you this morning, Rob, I'm tired of this.
I know.
I'm exaggerating.
Hang on a minute. I want Ashlei to get. She had something she was about to say there, with what you were saying.
Go ahead.
oh, I was just saying that's the thing. It has to be equal and fair, though, and open. It actually has to get to that point.
So I'll throw this one out at you, Ashlei. So how can it be equal and fair as far as perception-wise when he and I are pastors, when we as the church have even separated ourselves? We've got the black church over here, we got the white church over here, we got the Hispanic church, we got the Asian church over here, the Korean church over here. Even we have totally just separated ourselves, even though he does have my color in his church. I have his color here in our church. But, man.
I don't know. That's a big question.
It's got to start there, and it must expand. We've got to expand it. It's not wrong for two little white guys to get together and play, and two little black guys get together and play. It's not wrong to be with people who look like you and speak like you and act like you. That's not wrong. The wrong is when we exclude somebody who's different. There is every church that we call a white church. We're not saying that you need to purposely try to integrate and try to fit in where you don't fit in. If you don't, water flows down the path of least resistance. So what each church should say is, there is no people who are not welcome in our organization, in our church. You can come, you can sit on the front seat, just like you can sit anywhere else, anywhere in our organization and in our building, just like anybody else. We will not discriminate and separate and hold back goods and services from anybody because of their color. So we must do more of what we're doing, Robert, and we must bring more churches on board, more people on board, and get everybody to say the same thing.
Yeah.
If I have a business, I will serve anybody, whatever color. I will serve everybody.
Hey, we got 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So I know
Wow.
Ashley
Goes
I know,
fast.
like that. I'm telling you. Ashley, did you see anything that's...
I mean, we did have a comment saying, you know, black on black crime is horrible in Little Rock, and they're worried about racism. But like you guys,
oh my God! See, I can go there. It's like, you know what? Quit looking at it as black on black crime. It's a human being. It's a
Crime on crime.
Yeah.
It's crime, period.
Yeah, it's crime. And so,
And
is it a
we
young
should hurt whenever someone is being hurt or killed or something like that. I'm sorry. I feel just as bad for the Patino young lady as I do any other missing African-American victim. I feel sorry for those families and what they're going through. That's evil.
yeah.
Whoever hurt that girl and killed her, that was an act of evil. And I'm concerned about the good and the welfare, well-being of every human being.
Ashley?
All right. Any final words you want to say?
It just can't be done in 30 minutes.
I know. It goes too fast for sure. The conversation definitely has to continue.
An hour show. You need an hour, at least an hour.
Yeah, the conversation definitely has to continue. Like this is a start, but it definitely has to continue.
Yeah.
For sure.
Hey, Ashley, thanks for letting us do this with you on this one.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you guys were able to come on and talk about it, and hopefully, you know, maybe it'll encourage somebody to start that conversation, to love their neighbor and those who also are not their neighbors and don't look like them.
Yeah. Now, hey,
Ashley?
November, I'm sorry, Stephen, November 20th, Boys and Girls Club, starting at about 9 o'clock in the morning, Whetstone Boys and Girls Club. We're going to be doing an all-day event out there, work day, feeding and praying and all sorts of fun things. So we need you out there on November the 20th.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, get in touch with us and let us know. I love you, Robert. I love you, Ashley. And we love the world. Let's let everybody know that.
You know what? I think that's a good way to end the show right there. You said it best. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us, and everyone at home, thanks for watching, and we will see you back here next time.
Okay. God bless.